I think this entire match is going to be you and I laughing uncontrollably.
It is quite silly.
What's going on, everybody? King of Chaos, Logan Black here, and you're watching Pro Wrestling Explained to my wife. Hi, wife.
Hi, husband.
Today we are going to watch my favorite wrestler of all time. Number one on that list. But it wouldn't be a wacky, crazy YouTube reaction series, that's what they call these, without us trying to stray away from the good and focus on the ridiculous. So we're going to be watching Terry Funk. However, we're going to watch Terry Funk in the year 2000 against Screaming Norman Smiley for the WCW Hardcore Championship. I know you've seen Terry Funk because I watch him all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure you haven't watched Norman Smiley, but what do you know about WCW in the late 90s, early 2000s type time?
I feel like David Arquette made an appearance at some point.
She gets it. Former WCW World Heavyweight Champion. David Arquette.
Yeah.
The guy from Scream.
Exactly. Teen movie heartthrob.
Fantastic. Let's take a look at this, guys. Terry Funk, Screaming Norman Smiley from Spring Stampede 2000. Let's check it out.
Time to go to the bathroom.
You know, there's a lot of times where before your match you really have to use the bathroom. And it always happens just before your music hits. Terry Funk's just ahead of the curve. Oh. And here we go.
Oh. Is he just hiding?
So Norman Smiley was doing this gimmick at the time where he was, hardcore and all that kind of stuff, because that was a big thing at this point. But he was also afraid of everything.
And a baseball catcher?
It's going to be really hard for me to explain a lot of this WCW shit at the time.
Lots of backstory.
Not really. It was just, what's funny, Norman Smiley, he dressed up as a hockey goalie, just in football pads. I think it was him, like, he's going to protect himself, because all the hardcore guys, got to be tough. But now here's Terry Funk.
How dare he waste good Diet Coke.
This is why Funk is the greatest, because the dude just wasted at least $100 worth of Coca-Cola products. And just going to destroy everything else in the process.
Well, WCW is on TNT, right?
They were on way back in the day. They were owned by Turner, so TNT, right, TBS both had
Atlanta, Coca-Cola, yeah.
Oh.
Sorry, it's maybe too deep of a cut for this particular YouTube series.
So at this point, Terry Funk is 100% like in his 50s.
Yeah.
And it's still... I think this entire match is going to be you and I laughing uncontrollably.
It is quite silly.
So, like, Terry Funk in general can get quite silly.
Of course, I mean, I've seen him get kicked by a horse.
Right. And then threaten the horse.
Yeah.
But I think at this point, Terry recognized that he was collecting a paycheck and that, all this shit was just supposed to be goofy.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Look at this tough son of a bitch. Oh, man.
So Norman... some great striped pants.
Oh, yeah. So a little background on Norman Smiley, because I can gush on Terry Funk all day. Norman Smiley is a European wrestler. His pedigree for pro wrestling is incredible. He's currently... or was currently a trainer for NXT and WWE. The dude is absolutely amazing as an in-ring talent. But in general, at the time, and that time period, wrestling wasn't getting over. It was, the characters and, weird, stupid shit. Or choppy or pee-pee. That was a big deal.
Yeah.
So, he couldn't get over just being, this incredible wrestler. So they kind of just let him do his own thing, and he started doing this, big wiggle move, which was pretty much him doing this shit from American Pie. He's going to climb a ladder for no reason here.
Maybe he's going to look for Terry's lost headband.
So eventually, what ended up happening was they ended up calling him Screaming Norman Smiley because he started screaming like a lunatic. And he did this gimmick where he was hardcore, but he was afraid of all this stuff.
Those are the gentlest chair shots I think I've ever seen.
I'll just just dropping it on him haphazardly. That's, the brilliance of Terry Funk. It's like I could have showed you any Terry Funk match in the world. Mm-hmm. I could have gone, there's brilliant matches with Flair or Steamboat or like stuff he did with Jerry Lawler. I think we'll eventually do that. But of course, here we go. He's gonna, and it still ends up hitting him. There was a lot of, I can't speak on the rest of the, show because I don't know off the top of my head. But I'm willing to bet there was some absolute ridiculousness. I think by this point, Vince Russo was gone. But they were still doing, like, the most ridiculous crap humanly possible. They were only around for, like, another 9 or so months after this.
Well, the fact that Vince Russo is not involved explains why this is at least mildly entertaining.
Well, no, I don't even want to say that, because, like, there was some stuff that Russo did there that was entertaining. Actually, there you go. Terry's swinging at fans now because he's Terry fucking Funk. Like, again, this explains why Terry Funk is my favorite wrestler of all time. As entertaining as Norman Smiley is, as ridiculous as everything watching is, have your eyes left Terry the entire time?
I mean, yeah.
Like, are you not focusing on him with everything? There's the big wiggle.
I mean, I'm focusing on both of them. They're both... It's not like I'm ignoring Terry, but he's not the only person I'm looking at.
For me, the only thing that I can keep my eyes on this whole time is Terry getting his ass kicked. Which is why he's just brilliant. Oh, big wiggle time. So this was really over.
I mean, can I get something to drink from the cooler? No.
Nope. We're getting in another ladder for no reason.
I mean, who needs a reason really for a ladder?
Well, we've already seen in the match Norman Smiley climb a ladder to nowhere. Mm-hmm. Literally just to cling to the ceiling like Spider-Man.
Yeah. But I mean, like in any ladder match, besides one where they actually have to climb and get something, what's the actual point of the ladders except for people to die on them?
Well, it's because, most of the time with a ladder match, you are grabbing for stuff. But here it's making me think that we are in a Vince Russo era booking because we're getting interference in a hardcore match. Which is just, there's no disqualification, why the hell not? But, like, what's going on? Yeah, that's Dustin Rhodes right there. Dustin Runnels, Gold Dust. You're well aware of who that is.
Yes, I am. Though he's wearing much less makeup than I'm used to.
Certainly.
Also great pants. Really a great showing for pants tonight. See, that was the purpose of the ladder.
Oh, my lord. There's a part of me that's, like, really excited and really enjoying this, but then, like, also just, like, full-on embarrassment.
This is hardly the most embarrassing wrestling you have ever made me watch. Even for this YouTube series.
Well, that was a whirlwind, wasn't it?
Indeed.
What would you say your favorite part of that match was?
I just gotta give it to Terry for just being out there giving it his all. Even when he's clearly so tired.
Like I said, I gotta look it up. Terry Funk was considered old in the 80s. This is the year 2000. Mm-hmm. And he's still going. And I mean, I think he's officially retired now, but at the same time, like, it wasn't that long ago that he was still having full-on matches. Probably doing some of these same spots, like throwing things over his head. Do I even have to bother asking if you'll consider watching more Terry Funk stuff?
I mean, do I even bother asking if I have a choice?
You don't. I've got a lot of Terry Funk stuff on this list. Some way better and some certainly worse. But it's Terry Funk, so it's all good to me.
Of course.
Well, that's going to be it for this episode of Pro Wrestling Explained. to my wife. You can catch me on all social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at King of Chaos NYC. And you're watching this on the YouTube account for the Year One podcast. Why are you not already subscribed? You should be listening to it every week. It drops every single Wednesday. Your favorite wrestlers talking about their first year in the business. Check it out. Year, the number one pod. And for you, dear?
You can find me and my slow descent into madness on Instagram at Banana Lunch.
I refuse to take any responsibility for that slow descent.
It's true. If anything, you've speeded up a little bit.
For myself and the missus, love yourselves, love each other, love pro wrestling.